Martin, fresh start for Hens. Right, Sunday morning, I'm down here at yesterday's farm because I had to come and pick up some surplus crates that we had left over, which needs to stay down this end of the country for another job later on this month or next month. I've just spoken to the farm. I thought it might be interesting to do a quick video inside the shed while it's empty and quiet, because normally when I'm in there I'm shouting at the top of my voice trying to be overheard over all the birds clucking away, and just show you a little bit about how they live and the similarities between a commercial flock and your flocks at home. So we'll have a quick look in the shed. So this bit on the end here, this is the egg room. All the eggs come out on the conveyor belt there, which is linked directly under the boxes where the birds lay in, left and right. Sometimes they're double story, these are not, but they lay the eggs in there, farmer presses a button and they all come out to this end of the shed, so it doesn't have to go in the shed and disturb the birds. So that's the egg room on the end and all the controls for everything else. Right, this is chicken territory. This is now all due for a clean down. Obviously with chickens create a lot of dust, it's very cobwebby and all that kind of thing. What we've got basically, what I'm standing on now is the upper scraps. These are plastic panels that lock together. They've got holes in, chickens get good grip on them, and obviously there's about a year's worth of pup down underneath. The corner there is blanked off, so there's not a 90-degree right corner to stop birds getting stuck in the corner. The cobwebs and that, there's not a lot you can do about that kind of thing. It's just what happens. This is the feed track on the floor here. It's set up on a timer. The food comes in on the lorry to the grain bin outside, comes through this pipe, drops down, and what's in here is a chain, which looks like that. That runs along there, dragging the food round the shed. And as you can see, it goes right down the end, it goes right round the other side across here. This is all one continuous chain. Runs up and down. When the pump starts up and the motor starts running to pump the food, the birds know that, so rather than all come running to this end, they just know that even if they're over the other side, when the chain starts up, they ain't got to go mad, they haven't got to panic, they just go any minute now. The old the sushi buffet, you sort of like come running past and they can start having a bit of grub. So that's how they're fed. This is the water here, which is now turned off. These work on a little, see they bounce up and down. These are called bell drinkers. Obviously they've got a bit of filth and muck on them. This all gets cleaned up now. But basically what happens is, it comes out of there and runs down and sits in this little rim round the bottom. Like that. And they're a weight thing, so when they take a little bit, it comes up, lets a bit of water out. You see it moving here through this little bracket. So that lets the water in and out. That's fed to a system with a header tank up in the roof there. Onto the nest boxes. Again, all due for a clean up. Slightly angled. The eggs drop through the little flaps under there onto the conveyor belt, which then goes into the egg shed on the end. All these plastic things come up. This place is like brand new. You can live in it yourself when you finish. Bearing in mind, this is 18 months worth, a year or so's worth of egg production. And obviously, chickens aren't worried about where they poop. They'll poop anywhere they want to. So we'll have a little walk down this end. Side ventilation flaps, which the farmer can put up and down at his whim. Just depending on, obviously in the summer they're open all year round. If there's a strong wind blowing from one side, farmer quite often shuts it down one side to give them some extra protection. So yeah, all the drinkers are all the way along. They're both sides as well. There's a little area there where they can jump over. That's where the conveyor belt ends itself and goes back round the other way. It's a spare egg in there that hasn't dropped through. So yeah, they get behind these flaps nice and dark and they can have a little kip in there, which suits the truth. This bit down here is called the lower scratch. And it is basically what it is. The birds don't have to go out. This is open all year round. They can come in here. As you can see, it's all loose. And we have actually worked in here before, but as you can see, it's fairly potholey. And obviously, in the dark, you can get twisted ankles and bits. We actually prefer them to be up on the upper scratch area. So that keeps that all as it is. Pop holes along the side, up there, up the top there, they're open. These ones in the summer are opened as well. Go out there, there's a big paddock and it goes right down there. They've got acres and acres of space, but this is their house and it's all very, very similar to you keeping a handful of birds at home. They've got shelter, they've got food supply, they've got water, they've got somewhere to lay and somewhere to scratch about. It is basically the same as what we do with a handful of birds. It's just on a commercial scale, which is modern farming. So yeah, that's about it. A modular building. What happens now is all these slates get lifted up, the side flaps open up all the way round, a digger joins on the two brackets, it's sitting on two big long skids, and they pull it forward right down into the field, and what's left in here is basically a tray break, if you like, of chicken poop, like a great big brownie in a tray, but it's made of poop. So they lift the flaps up, pull it down, a digger comes and takes that away. That area is then sanitised. Everything's cleaned up, all the plastic slats are all jet washed, everything comes up really, really nice, all the ceiling is all washed down and all the dust blown out. Clean it right up, to prevent any cross-contamination between the old birds and the new birds. Has to be spotlessly clean, and then they refill the birds and they start again. So that's about it from me. A little insight on how the sheds work. Thanks very much.